Hey everyone, welcome to another video by Solid Shell Security. What we're going to be talking about today is actually doing computer scanning. What we've already done is we've already downloaded two very common applications. You can just easily download these basically by going to Google, and you can just type in Malwarebytes. Simply download it. It's really simple. I mean, it's got like the download button like right on the screen. It'll basically take you to like a trusted partner site. So you're gonna have to click this and you have to navigate yourself through it. It's pretty random, but you can just basically just click this for this site and basically take you right to it. Another one basically Spybot. Just Google. This one's going to make you pay money, but you really don't have to because there's a free edition. So if you take the home users and go download, my bad. Click download up here. Home users, just basically get the free edition because it's basically free. Then click one of the download links. I'm just picking the top one. Click this. Done. You've got it. Okay, so we've got them all downloaded and installed. We've already taken the time to install Malwarebytes. Right here, click run, and it's going to go ahead and start up and want to run. These are not monitoring applications. We want to do a full system scan. Drive. Okay. As I was saying, they're not not monitoring applications. Now Spybot's got some monitoring services installed. Basically, I don't really recommend using it because it uses up a lot of memory. Because basically it loads every signature, every application, everything into memory. Like it's massively big. And really all it's really doing is basically looking for like known signatures. And honestly, a lot of the stuff is pretty old. So really, I wouldn't really recommend using it. I mean, use an antivirus application for monitoring. Just use Spybot for scanning is what I use. Basically, we're just trying to scan here, and not quite sure what it's actually found. That's so interesting. Who knows? Because we're always downloading something or something. The thing you want to okay, that's why, because we've got the Metasploit. It's basically just a pen testing suite, and it's basically got some scripts that are considered like Trojans or something, because technically they're like an exploit script, so that's probably why. So there's nothing to worry about that. But this does bring me to a point when it comes to working with these type of applications, is it's going to basically just use a signature and say, okay, this is a bad file, this is a bad file. It doesn't know if it's a bad file or not. You need to be the judge and basically say, okay, I know what this file is, I want to keep it, because a lot of stuff, like even with Spybot's going to mark the Facebook application chat that you can download to your desktop as spyware. I think that's the classification, I don't know, but it's going to mark it as that. So you really want to make sure you don't say yes to everything unless you're absolutely sure. But basically between these two, they're not really virus scanners in a sense. They're basically looking for like spyware, adware, things along a lot of that. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this out. So that's basically all they're really doing. I'm going to just go ahead and go install Spybot. Between these two, you're going to catch most strains. I'm not going to say you're going to catch everything. This is basically why you have to pay and get a full audit done if you know what's going on. I'll be right around to I don't know what that was. Just click next. I just typically go defaults on all these things. But as I was basically saying, a lot of the 0 days, like what we've been seeing lately with the Flash exploit, the Java exploits, and stuff like that, they really have not been detected by a lot of these antivirus type applications. That's basically why Facebook's been hit. A bunch of other major business corporations, like million-dollar corporations, have been hit because of these 0-day exploits, because they're executing code that's just not known. So really, just because these things come back with nothing does not mean you don't know. And apparently Spybot has actually changed and upgraded since I've last used it. Okay. So really, I like using the advanced options just because we get a lot more options. But I'm just going to do a system scan, and I love the new interface. Really nice, sweet. So we're just going to do it like a start scan. No, not really. Just do this to start the scan. Okay. So basically what this is going to do is going to do the same thing as Malwarebytes. It's going to go ahead and scan everything and see what it finds. It's going to do rootkits as well. And then you're going to have to go through and say what you want to install, uninstall and remove. But these type of scans can take a pretty long time depending on system size and how many files and stuff. But going back to the full auditing, because these 0 days don't exist, you're not really going to find a thing that's going to find them. So you have to go through a full audit, which basically means tunneling through system logs, like browser plugin objects and startup items that may or may not be in common places. So it's really more in depth to actually know you're not infected, which is basically why I recommend you watch the videos we just did on securing Google Chrome, securing Firefox, and basically how to browse the web on a more secure basis. Because I'm just going to try and stop this, but if you're not browsing the web securely, you're likely to get infected, because a lot of the exploits are coming in through the 0 days through like Java. As if you've not been keeping up on Facebook, we've been posting a lot of stuff about Java exploits, Flash exploits. We even had a business get exploited through a PDF file from our friend that completely took their billing computer down. So we actually had to spend an entire day trying to get that fixed and up for them, because they couldn't use QuickBooks and couldn't make payments and everything. So we had to actually go through that and get that done. So basically the threats are very, very real, and it's really, really imperative that you're staying up to date with everything. Now Flash, if you've installed Flash and Java, they install an updating service, so basically they stay up to date. You really cannot disable them in the browsers, because Facebook and YouTube and so many sites rely on them and use them. So the only real way is to basically follow the 2 videos we made on safer web browsing, and as much as it can be a pain, that's honestly the only way you're going to be safe, because if some rogue website pops up or something happens like that, you're very, very likely to get hit through a 0 day whatever, and you're not going to know it half the time, because we see it all the time. That's why you start getting all these pop-up advertisements, these links on text that bring up advertisements, and all those little search gizmos that just pile onto your web browser. Every single one of those things is basically doing something, slowing down your browsing, monitoring what you're doing. So it just adds up, which is basically why it's really imperative to actually probably run those 2 systems at least once, just to see what you've got, remove some stuff, and then basically follow the safer browsing habits. Also, you want to make sure that you're not downloading anything. We see this all the time. We get a ton of emails with attachments, basically your IRS refund or your bank account's been closed, you need to sign these papers or something from the government. We see it all the time. We just basically just flat out delete them. 1, we don't have anything with them. 2, they don't mention your name in the email. If there's no name in the email, it's definitely spam, because basically any government, any corporation, anything's going to actually put your name, personal information in email, because they're going to have this stuff on record and they're going to try and personalize it. Also, anything like tax record, stuff like that, that stuff is honestly typically always done through the mail. You don't get tax refunds and stuff through emails. The government's going to use the mail system just because it's more reliable. There's just so many scams through emails that honestly, if you don't recognize it, you don't know who it is, you're not expecting something, just flat out delete it. Don't open it, just delete it. Same goes for any type of file. really you need to say this is because of how dangerous this exploit is that's going around and all these 0 days and these services, that it doesn't take too much to be hit, that it's just going to be best to make sure you limit what you download and limit to where you go, because it's just really hitting like crazy. We're seeing it all the time, getting calls. So definitely make sure you're not downloading, going to places you're not supposed to, and especially watch the emails. So that's really some safety tips that we've got. Definitely make sure you subscribe to YouTube if you got a YouTube account. Definitely make sure you subscribe to the mailing list. There is a link to it on the main website. There should have also been a link on the blog that you probably got to this video. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and consider sending these blog entries and videos to your friends just to help keep them up to date, because a lot of banking details, a lot of stuff is basically being pooled, and a lot of people just don't know it. Like, they just don't realize it, they just don't know it, and you can go months before you even realize that something's happened, and by then it's a gigantic mess. So this is basically why we really encourage users to get their systems audited and checked out, especially if you're doing like online banking and billing and other things like that that's sensitive. You really want to make sure you're not just running antivirus software scans, but also make sure you're browsing the web securely, making sure your browser is not being hijacked and backdoored and having the keys logged. Also, you might want to consider having the system audited every so often too. But we got some other videos coming out that's going to also offer some extra protection. So keep watching, keep subscribing, and stay safe, people.